Good morning. So it's the day of the shipping company coming over to pick up all our stuff that we'll be sending to Japan. I'll try and record some of it, but I'm not sure what I'm allowed to record and what I'm not allowed to record. But here is all the stuff we're sending. So this pile over here, some movies, and then blankets. So they'll be here in about 2 hours. My husband had to work today. It's his last day at his company here, so he has his farewell party and everything. So it's just me, but one of my best friends is coming to keep me some company. So when my husband did the initial consultation, he did request for it to be in English, but somehow it ended up being in Japanese. And since it's just me today, he did request for it to be in English again because I need to be able to communicate. And he also asked for an English copy of the moving guide. So they did send us a moving guide. Sorry, that's backwards. We were going through the list. It's a little bit complicated. There's a lot of like prohibited items, restricted items. You can't send money, credit cards, jewelry, precious metals. So I was originally going to send my jewelry box, had to pull that out. You have to make sure that all the items are dry just from mold and stuff. So they do tell you some cautionary points. Make sure no suitcases are locked because they'll probably be unlocked by customs. There's some stuff that's subject to being taxed. So if you've bought within the last year, they ask you to keep a receipt for it. A lot of things that are like duty-free or souvenirs, which we don't have any. There would be objects with new receipt, new tags, alcohol, tobacco, perfumes, that kind of thing, which we're not sending. Opened items that could leak, we're not sending any liquids. And then there's a lot of instructions on how to pack it ourselves, but we're having them packed for us. So, and then there's a packing list, which we didn't receive, but they are packing for us. So I'm assuming they're going to do that for us. So everything's going to be in a carton, like in a box, and then the box is kind of its own thing. So like home appliances or clothes or household medicines, which we're not sending either. We did do our own itemized list. We were working on that just to, in case they ask me any questions. So how much everything is insurable for. Some things we're not even sure. We're like, can we just leave it at 0? That's kind of where we're at. We'll see how it goes, if it was a good idea to do that packing list ahead of time or not. Yeah, so something else that happened earlier this week, which was a little bit scary, is Calgary had a crazy hailstorm. And we haven't vacated the house yet. So I was really scared because we got an extreme weather warning alert. It was golf ball sized hail. We're really scared because until possession date, we're responsible for any damages on the house. And a lot of North Calgary was hit really hard. There was a lot of damage. There was a lot of car damages, house damage, yards. Even the Calgary airport was damaged, and they had flooding and their ceiling caved in. It was pretty bad. When your house is damaged through these kind of things, you have to go through your insurance. And of course, that was going to be backed up because of all the other claims. So I was just praying that nothing happened to our house because we're leaving pretty soon here. But we got really lucky and nothing happened in our area. As I mentioned in my previous video, Eleven and Kudo aren't staying with us right now just because of the move, but something has come up with my parents. They have an emergency, so we're gonna have them back with us for the weekend. I don't know if Eleven will be happy to come back with us because she really, really loves my parents. Grandparents are always the best, right?
At first, things were going okay. The gentleman in charge had his crew set up and he came to look at all the items. He was very friendly and professional, but then the paperwork came out and most of it was in Japanese. He said he could try to walk me through some of it, but he looked nervous. My friend even suggested that I use Google Translate, which worked, but I can't write kanji. So I panicked and I texted my husband. He was still at his farewell lunch at work, but he managed to come home to fill out the paperwork and then headed back to work. Crisis averted. We were told shipping would take 2 to 3 months to arrive because they need the shipping container to be full before it gets shipped out. We were going to add an AirTag to be able to track our shipment, but we forgot. Stay tuned.